Okay, the final question that I want to concentrate on today is a chemical mixture problem. So you may encounter one of these if you're taking chemistry or even in grade 10 science. So the question reads, the concentration of brand A of antifreeze is 25% and the concentration of brand B is 50%. So if a total of 50 kilograms were mixed from the two brands to obtain a concentration of 42%, how much of each type was used? So we're going to let X represent the amount of brand A. So first of all, I don't know. I have a certain amount of brand A and a certain amount of brand B, but I don't know how much of each I have. That's what I'm going to try to solve. However, I know that the total amount of the mixture that I'm going to come up with is 50 kilograms. So that's a clue that my equation number 1 is going to have to deal with the amount used. Now, my second column, concentration is usually defined as the amount of pure acid that's actually in the mixture, but you can also call your table just plain concentration. Now, since my concentration of brand A is 25%, that means in whatever mixture I come up with, the amount of brand A will be 0.25 multiplied by the amount used of brand A. That's going to be the concentration, or the amount of pure acid in the final mixture. And similarly, my concentration of brand B is 50%, so that means all of this is actually going to give me my equation number 2. So the second entry is also going to be quite simple. 0.50, 0.5x. However, the next step is a little bit more, not x, but 0.5 multiplied by the amount of y that I have. The next step is the more complicated step, times y. Because since I know that the mixture is going to have a concentration of 42%, and I know the amount of the mixture, unlike for brand A and brand B, I actually know how much of the mixture I have. What I need to do to solve for the total is take my 50 kilograms and multiply it by the concentration, 0.42. And that's going to give me a total amount of 21 kilograms. So my equation number 1 is very simple. X plus y is equal to 50. But my equation number 2 is 0.25x plus 0.5y is going to be equal to 21. Okay. Now, once again, just like the investment problem, I have some decimals that I want to get rid of, and I can get rid of them by multiplying equation number 2 by 100. And when you do that, the new equation number 2 is going to be 25x plus 50y is equal to 21 times 100, 2,100. Now, just like before, I'm going to go ahead and try to eliminate my x. So I want to aim for another 25x to make it very simple to eliminate. That means I have to multiply all of equation number 1 by 25. So the y multiplied by 25 would be 25y. Remember, whatever you do to the left-hand side, you have to do to the right-hand side as well. So 50 times 25 is going to give me 1,250. Now I have my equation number 1 and equation number 2. I can subtract those two equations to eliminate my x terms, so the 25x and the 25x subtract, and I will have 0. Now I have to subtract the other columns as well. 25y minus 50y is equal to 1,250 minus 2,100. And when I do that, I get negative 25y is equal to negative 850. Now if I divide both sides by negative 25, I get a final value, y is equal to 34 kilograms. And just like before, once you find y, it's very simple to solve for x. We're going to substitute y is equal to 34 into, I'm going to pick, again, equation number 1. You always want to pick the equation that looks easier to solve because you know you're less likely to make any mistakes. So x plus y is equal to 50. I know that my y term is equal to 34. I'm going to substitute that into the equation. And now I'm going to isolate for x and move everything else over to the other side. That includes the negative. The positive 34 now turns into negative 34. So x is going to be equal to 16. Now we have to remember what the x and y both represent. So x represents the amount of the brand A antifreeze. So just to make sure that you know exactly what those unknown variables represent, we need to do a written statement again. There is 16 kilograms of brand A antifreeze and 34 kilograms of brand B. And that's it. So mixture problems, when they're set up, can really resemble our investment problems because of the decimals involved with the concentration.